They've been planning this for 1,000,000 years.
Eyewitness video is coming in from...
What the fuck is going on here?
So the other day, my bubble of movie knowledge popped again when I found out that apparently Amazon Prime Video is making another film adaptation of the classic H.G. Wells novel, War of the Worlds. And this time, get this, it stars Ice Cube. Yes, the same guy who gave us "Today Was a Good Day" is now apparently about to tell us it's not gonna be a good day because aliens are blowing up the planet. And I didn't discover this through a press release or a cool trailer drop or anything like that. I found out because the internet was already roasting the hell out of this movie. And when you actually sit down and watch the thing, it's not hard to see where the bullying's coming from. Let's just say it doesn't exactly scream Spielberg epic or Tom Cruise blockbuster. I mean, the CGI is atrocious. The amount of stock footage used in this movie is laughable. And the constant Amazon shoutouts and placements throughout the movie make it
extremely annoying.
But here's the thing. Those are easy shots to take. Surface level critiques, no insight, nothing to learn. And that's not worth it for me to make an entire video. Because remember, this is a straight to streaming movie, so it definitely didn't have the budget that the Steven Spielberg movie had. And when you want to become a filmmaker, you start to appreciate a lot more low budget movies. Movies where people had to get really creative with what they had because they didn't have a lot of money. I think Unfriended Dark Web uses the screen recording / webcam format extremely well. And there are a ton of examples of movies with low budgets and become massive successes because they were really creative in their process. So what am I saying exactly? Is this movie not that bad actually? No, it's incredibly bad. It's actually so bad that all the online ridicule it's been getting, honestly, is fully justified. But it's not because of the surface level stuff like the budget or the stock footage. No, the real problem is way more fundamental. You see, this movie commits the 3 divine sins of movie making. Number 1, I don't care about anything that's happening because I don't care about any of the characters. Number 2, I don't understand anything that's happening. And thirdly, I'm just straight up pissed at what's happening because the movie's treating me like I'm a baby. So buckle up because we're about to take a look at War of the Worlds Ice Cube edition to see exactly how it commits these 3 divine sins of movie making, which caused it to be the unintentional comedy roast on social media. And if you don't want your movie to become the internet's next favorite punching bag, here are a few things you might want to stay away from. The first divine sin that this movie commits is that it writes blank shell characters. And the reason why this is such a big issue is because in order for us to feel the fear of these alien tripods, we need to care about the characters first. And in order to care about them, we need to know who they are. But the problem with this movie is that they don't do that. Most of these characters literally are just there to serve the plot. The only purpose that Ice Cube's daughter has in the movie is to give her father the cancer-destroying cannibal code that she created. The only reason Ice Cube's son is in the movie is to tell him that the government is behind Goliath and is in on it. Hell, even the daughter's boyfriend is only there to serve as an Amazon plug. These characters aren't even actual humans. Like, they don't even have their own goals, beliefs, flaws, agendas, desires. They're just NPCs there to serve the plot. Which brings us back to the protagonist of the film, Ice Cube, who's also one of the worst protagonists to follow in any movie because he's a passive protagonist. I've touched on this point before in my Superman video, but the worst protagonist you can have is a passive one. A character that just reacts to things instead of actually causing events in the story. And to the movie's credit, in the beginning, Ice Cube is an active protagonist. He's actively looking for this mysterious hacker known as Disruptor. But that storyline gets tossed aside as soon as the aliens come, and he's just reacting to these things that are happening. And then we're told all of a sudden that his son is the secret hacker, and then all of a sudden he finds out through a phone call that the aliens are after data and he's just reacting to that now. It's as if we're watching a reaction video of a live streamer on YouTube. And this isn't compelling for any audience to watch at all. And you might be saying to me, Enzo, in the Spielberg movie, Tom Cruise is also just reacting to the aliens that are coming down. And that might be true, but here's the catch. After everyone reacts to the initial alien invasion, Tom Cruise becomes once again an active protagonist. He decides that he needs to take them to see their mom. So now we have a clear sense of progression, a clear objective. Yes, there's a bunch of aliens bombing the world around us, but I need to get these kids to their mom. So now he's actually causing the events in the story. He takes them to their mom's house where they find out they're no longer there. He tries to stop Robbie from joining the fight because he has to bring both of them to their mom. He decides to kill the guy that takes them in because he sees them as a threat to his family. And at the end of the movie, we get a sense of victory because we actually make it to their mom. What's the goal in this movie? First is to catch that hacker, then is to defeat the aliens, then is to catch the people that were involved in the conspiracy. It's just all over the place. Hence, I don't care.
Let me tell you something. We don't care.
The second divine sin that this movie commits is the plot. Now, for you guys that don't know, plot can be simply broken down into an acronym of GSU. The goal, the stakes, and the urgency. And the problem with this movie is that it doesn't establish any of those three. First, let's talk about the goal, which was at the beginning to find this hacker called Disruptor. But as I mentioned before, that gets tossed aside when the aliens arrive. And once they figure out that it is an alien invasion, now they decide to attack. And all of a sudden, the plot line of the Disruptor pops in once again. Except we don't care because the movie never properly established the stakes or urgency for finding this Disruptor guy. What is so important about finding the Disruptor? What is he capable of? What has he done in the past? I don't know. The next goal you could probably point out in the movie is killing the alien, but it happens so far in the background that it doesn't even feel important. But what are the stakes? That they're gonna take our data? I mean, that's just stupid. What is the urgency? Like, oh no, they're gonna know what I'm gonna shop on Amazon? I'm so scared. And that just in turn makes the urgency not that effective. Man, I'm shaking in my pants because they're gonna get our data. And another plot line you can point out is Ice Cube's character is trying to bring in the government official that's responsible for the Goliath program. But again, what are the stakes? Why is it important for us to bring this person in? I don't know. Is he gonna create another program to spy on civilians? Why don't we get to see his point of view on the matter? He just says that the government's like mom and dad trying to protect their little kids. What if Briggs actually had a thought-provoking argument as to why he did what he did? Or maybe we see that the program that he created to spy on people actually worked to our benefit to defeat the aliens. That would add a layer of complexity. But no, you don't deserve that because you guys are a bunch of dum-dums that just take whatever streaming platforms feed you. The last sin that this movie commits is that the source of fear and the world where the fear is taking place is incompetent. So what do I mean by this? This isn't per se a horror movie, but there are horror elements. An alien invasion coming to destroy our species is definitely a horror element. It is there to invoke fear. In the Spielberg movie, whenever those tripods make that noise, you knew shit was about to go down. Why? Because you actually see the tripods incinerate people in front of Tom Cruise. We see the military trying to fight them and fail miserably. All in all, what I'm trying to say is the movie establishes that this is an opponent we need to take seriously. In this movie, they're just a complete joke. One, we don't see them kick ass that much at all in the movie. We see a couple glimpses here and there, but nothing impressive. And then, when the president authorizes a military response, they literally start shooting down these things like they're nothing. The tripods have zero defense mechanism. They don't fight back at all. There's no struggle at all taking them down. They just look like a bunch of buffoons. So now, the source of our fear, we can no longer take seriously because you've just shown us that we don't have to take it seriously. And the other thing is that the world where the fear takes place is just stupid. You have these giant machines which are supposed to be taking out humanity, and yet in the background, nobody's reacting to it. You have civilians just walking like it's just another day. This doesn't make sense. Everyone would be running, and therefore you now have a world where all this stuff is taking place and none of your audience is gonna take it seriously.